How are you, my dear students? Now we are going to complete our study for the story Don Quixote and Windmills. Last time we stopped at this paragraph and we asked a question: what was the offer that Don Quixote made for Sancho Panza? As we said, that Don Quixote invited Sancho Panza, a short, fat farmer from the neighborhood. This is a description of Sancho Panza. Sancho Panza is another character that we have in the story. He will be the squire of Don Quixote. He asked him to accompany him by saying, "Come with me, Sancho." Don Quixote said, "Within a week I will conquer and and make you king of it." This is the offer of Don Quixote for Sancho Panza. So my question here, what was the offer of Don Quixote for Sancho Panza? We can say that Don Quixote told Sancho Panza that he would conquer an island and make him a king of it. Make him a king of it. Let's complete the thing for the next paragraph.
"That will be no bad thing," Sancho replied. "If I were king of an island, my wife would be queen, and all my children princes and princesses." So Sancho agreed to come along. Although he was not as crack-brained as Don Quixote, he certainly saw no harm in seeing a bit of the world. Finally, a night...
So, did Sancho accept Don Quixote's offer? Yes. Why? As we said, because he imagined that he would be a king, and his wife would be a queen. So all his children, princes, would be princes and princesses. So Sancho Panza accepted the offer of Don Quixote. So we can highlight for these parts. He said, "If I were king of an island, my wife would be queen, and all my children, princes and princesses." So Sancho agreed to come along, and he said, "With Don Quixote or Senor Quixote." Let's say for the next paragraph.
"Must have a fair lady to whom he has pledged his loyalty and his life. A knight without a lady is like a tree without leaves or fruit, a body without a soul," Don Quixote explained to Sancho. After considering all the damsels in the district, he chose a pretty farm girl, Aldonza Lorenzo, from the village of Toboso. Don Quixote rechristened his lady as he had rechristened his horse. He called her Dulcinea, meaning sweetness. The very word breathed music and enchantment. Dulcinea of Toboso, Dulcinea, Dulcinea. The knight's heart overflowed with devotion as he whispered the sacred name.
So then Don Quixote or Senor Quixote start by saying he need for a damsel to get married from here. So he saw a girl, he chose a pretty girl, a pretty farm girl, whose name is Aldonza Lorenzo. This is the third character that we have in this story, Aldonza Lorenzo. And he renamed it by saying here another name. This name is Dulcinea or Dulcinea of Toboso. Dulcinea of Toboso. This is a girl that he imagined himself to marry her. You can highlight for this name because if I ask a question about the fair lady or the girl that Don Quixote wished to marry, it would be she would be Aldonza Lorenzo. Now let's move to the next page. Page 341. I hope that you understood till now to this part. Now we are going to move for this page. Yes, we can begin to be able to see. Let's listen.
One moonless night, while everyone in town lay asleep, Don Quixote and Sancho set forth. By dawn, they were miles away. Don Quixote rode ahead, scanning the plain for ogres and sorcerers. Sancho followed on his little donkey, munching his breakfast of bread and cheese. Don Quixote halted. Fortune has favored our quest, good Sancho. Can you see what lies yonder? There stand the monstrous giants who have plagued this countryside long enough. I intend to strike them down and claim their wealth as our just reward. Sancho squinted into the distance. Giants, master? What are you talking about? I see no giants. There they are, straight ahead. Can't you see them? They have 4 arms, each one more than 6 miles long.
As you said, when I explained the story, we said that Senor Quixote or Don Quixote started to imagine the one piece like giant monsters. So he thought to fight to fight with one meal. But Sancho Panza tried to persuade Don Quixote that they aren't giant monsters, they are windmills. But Don Quixote insisted on his idea that he had in his mind. So if I ask a question here, why did, or you can say, why did Don Quixote fight with one meal? This is my question. Because he imagined them like what? Like 10 monsters with 4 arms and each one more than 6 miles long. This part that we can see here. Can we bigger than? As I said, yes, they have 4 arms, each one more than 6 miles. So my question here, why did Don Quixote fight with the one means? We can say because he imagined them like a giant monster with 4 arms and each one more than 6 miles long. Now let's complete listening.
Oh, master, you are mistaken. Those aren't giants. They're windmills. What you call arms are really sails to catch the wind. The wind turns the sails and makes the millstones go round and round. It is plain you know nothing at all, Don Quixote replied.
In this paragraph, Sancho Panza tried to persuade Don Quixote that they aren't giant monsters, as he said, those aren't giants. But Don Quixote or Senor Quixote insisted on that they are giant monsters. Let's complete listening.
I say those are giants, whether or not you recognize them as such. I intend to slay them. If you are frightened, you may hide yourself away and say your prayers while I challenge them to mortal combat. Having said this, Don Quixote lowered his visor and put his spurs to Rocinante. He galloped across the plain to do battle with the windmills. Take to your heels, cowardly giants! Know that it is I, the noble Don Quixote, Knight of La Mancha, who am attacking you. Master, they are only windmills, Sancho called after him. The wind picked up, the sails billowed. The great arms of the windmills began to turn.
So in this paragraph, the fight started between Don Quixote or Senor Quixote and the windmills, as he imagined them that they are giant monsters. But Sancho tried to convince him for many times that they aren't giant monsters, they are windmills. But Senor Quixote insisted on that they are giant monsters. So we can, as he said here, for the fight, he said, having said this, Don Quixote lowered his visor and put his spurs to Rocinante. This is the name of the horse that we said. He galloped across the plain. What the meaning of gallop? As you said, moved quickly across the plain to do battle with Windmills. Here, take your heels. This is the words of Don Quixote. Cowardly giants, know that it is I, the noble Don Quixote, Knight of La Mancha, who am attacking you. Here, Sancho starts to stop him by saying, Master, they are only Windmills. But Don Quixote insisted on what he wanted to do. The windmill was the one picked up the sails fell, the great arms of the windmills began to turn. Let's move to the next page. Be ready to listen for this part.
Don Quixote laughed with scorn. Do you think to frighten me? Though you have more arms than the giant Briareus, I will still make an end of you. He lifted his eyes toward heaven. Beautiful damsel Dulcinea of Toboso, in your honor do I claim the victory. If I am to die, let it be with your sweet name upon my lips. Shouting defiance, he charged at the nearest windmill. His lance pierced the canvas sail and became tangled in the ropes. Attempting to pull free, Don Quixote became caught as well. The windmill's rumbling arm dragged him out of the saddle, carrying him higher and higher.
So that's what happened for Don Quixote. Don Quixote laughed with scorn, as we said, with a stupid way. He said, "Do you think to frighten me?" He started to talk to the Windmills as he imagined them like a giant monster. So you have more arms than the giant Briareus, this is the name. I will still make an end of you. He lifted his eyes toward heaven. Look up. Beautiful damsel Dulcinea of Toboso, in your honor do I claim the victory. If I am to die, let it be with your sweet name upon my lips. He started to imagine the pretty girl that he wanted to marry. Shouting defiance is one. It means do something that is not allowed. He charged at the nearest windmills. His lance pierced the canvas sail and became tangled in the ropes. So what happened? Attempting to fall free, Don Quixote became caught sandal, carrying him higher and higher. Let's continue listening.
Quixote drew his sword. Release me, giant, before you feel the sharp sting of my blade. He slashed at the ropes. The windmill's arm swept past its zenith. It began hurtling toward the ground at an ever-increasing speed. Sancho trotted up on his donkey. Master, I will save you. He grasped Don Quixote's ankle when the knight swept by. The faithful squire found himself pulled off his donkey and carried aloft with his master.
In this paragraph, we complete the fight between Don Quixote and the Windmills. As Don Quixote started to say, Don Quixote draw his sword. Release me, giant, before you feel the sharp sting of my blade. It means the blade of his sword. He slashed. Slashed means cut, and drops. The Windmill's arm swept past its zenith. What does it mean, the word zenith? Zenith, it means the top. The word zenith here means the top. If you want to know the meaning of it. For the vocabulary, I explain this for extra knowledge, but you are required to study the highlighted vocab that we have in the book, plus the vocabulary that we have in the booklet. with selling and here he describes Sancho what happened for Sancho. He said Sancho trotted up on his donkey, it means rode his donkey, but and he said, Master, I will save you. He grasped Don Quixote's ankle. When the knight swept by, the faithful squire found himself pulled off his donkeys and carried aloft with his master. The word aloft, it means higher in the air. Carried aloft, it means carried to be higher in the air. Because of the windmills. I hope that you understood this part. Let's move to the next page. And this one can start to listen to explain these paragraphs.
Do not fear, good Sancho. I feel the giant weakening. I will soon make an end of this villain. Don Quixote hacked at the ropes with renewed vigor. Sancho saw the cords begin to fray. Master, spare the poor giant a few moments of life, at least until he brings us closer to the ground. Giant, in the name of my lady Dulcinea of Toboso, I command you to yield or die. Don Quixote made one last thrust. The ropes parted. The sail blew away. Don Quixote, with Sancho clinging to his ankle, plunged straight down. Together, they would have perished, knight and squire, dashed to 100 pieces, had the sail of the following on not caught them and sent them rolling across the plain.
So as he said here, don't fear good Sancho. These words were said by Don Quixote. He said, don't fear good Sancho. I feel the giant weakening. He feels that minister as he imagined to unleash that he became very weak. I will soon make an end of this villain. Villain, as we said, means what? Devil. Don Quixote hacked the ropes with renewed vigor. The word vigor, it means what? It means power. Vigor means what here? Power or force. Let me make it bigger for you to be able to see what. For the word vigor, vigor means power. Renewed power. Sancho saw the cords began to fray. Master, spare the poor giant a few moments of life, at least until he brings us closer to the ground. He's talking about the 1 minute. Giant is the name. Giant, these words also were said by Don Quixote. In the name of my lady Dulcinea of Toboso, I command you to yield or die. He also one means to be surrendered, to surrender for him, that he will fight, that would be the winner in this fighting. But let's know what happened. As I said, Don Quixote made one last thrust. The rope started, the sail blew away. Don Quixote, what happened? With Sancho clinging to his ankle. Clinging, what clinging means hanging, or we can say move. So the word clinging means what here? Hanging. Plunged straight, this means throw. Plunged, this means throw. Together they would have perished knight and squire, dashed to 100 pieces, had the sail of the following are not caught them, and sent them rolling across the plain. Parachute means extremely or very, very cold. This is the word of parachute. Parachute means very cold.
They tumbled to a stop at Rocinante's feet. Sancho felt himself all over for broken bones. "Ah, master," he groaned. "Why didn't you listen to me? I tried to warn you. Could you not see that they were only windmills? Whatever possessed you to attack them?" Don Quixote dusted off his battered armor. He tied the crushed visor back onto his helmet. "Be silent, Sancho. Your words reveal your ignorance. You know nothing about these matters. It is true that the giants now have the appearance of windmills. This is because they were bewitched by my enemy, the wizard Freston. At the last moment, he transformed the giants into windmills to deprive me of the glorious victory that..."
In this paragraph, we said, he described what happened, for example. They tumbled to a stop President's feet. Tumble, as we said, means fall down. Sancho found himself all over for broken bones. All of his bones, he felt that they are broken, that they were broken. He said, "I, master, he God, why didn't you listen to me? I tried to warn you. Could you not see that they were only windmills? Whatever possessed you to attack them?" As here Sancho started to remember Don Quixote, what he said before. Don Quixote dusted means to remove the duster from his clothes. Don Quixote dusted off his battered armor, his uniform, okay? He finds the crushed visor back onto his helmet. He said, "Be silent, Sancho. Your words reveal your ignorance. You know nothing about these matters. It is true that the giants now have the appearance of windmills. This is because they were bewitched by my enemy, the wizard Preston." Also, he insisted on his ideas that he had in his mind. At the last moment, he transformed the giants into windmills to deprive me of the glorious victory. So let's listen for the next part to complete explanation. This is the last part that we have in the story. That was
rightfully mine. Never fear, Sancho. We will meet him again. All the power of his magic arts will not save him when he feels the edge of my mighty sword. "I hope so," said Sancho as he pushed Don Quixote back onto Rocinante. "Another tumble like this, and we will all go home in pieces." Don Quixote took the reins in hand. "Never fear, faithful Sancho. The road to victory is often paved with misfortune. A true knight never complains. Follow me, and I promise we will dip our arms up to the elbow with what common people call adventures. Our names and the stories of our matchless deeds will resound through the ages. Aye, master, when I hear you say those words, I can almost believe they are true. Perhaps I really will have my island someday." "Of course you will, Sancho. Why would you ever doubt it?" Sancho mounted his donkey and went trotting after Rocinante, vowing to follow Don Quixote wherever fortune's winds might carry him.
As is it for the story, as we said here, he said that was rightfully mine. This is the words of Don Quixote. "Never fear, Sancho. We will meet him again." He was talking about the one with entering Mister, and that they were bewitched by an enemy that he called the wizard Freston. So as he had the same idea of that the Windmills are jail monster. So he was insisted on fighting these Windmills. He said, I hope so," said Sancho. Sancho replied for Don Quixote's word, "I hope so." said Sancho as he pushed Don Quixote back onto Rocinante. He put Don Quixote on his horse, Rocinante or Rocinante. Another tumble like this, and we will all go in pieces. Will be in small parts. Don Quixote took the reins in hand. Reins it means a long, narrow leather a band that is attached in a horse mouth. This part that can be put on the horse mouth, this is called ring. The road is very often. The road is very. The road is victory. The road to victory is often paved with misfortune. This is the word of Don Quixote. Sancho. Sorry, this is the word of Don Quixote. He said the road to victory is often paved with misfortune. A true knight never complains. Follow me, and I promise we will lift our arms up to the elbow of in what common people call adventures. Our names and the stories of our matches did well resound through the ages. Sancho said, I, master, when I hear you say these words, I can almost believe they are true. I can't believe myself that he said Sancho. Perhaps I really will have my island someday. The island that the offer that Don Quixote or Sancho, Senor Quijada gave to Sancho Panza, that he will give him, conquer an island and make him king of it. Don Quixote replied by saying, of course you will, Sancho. Why would you ever doubt it? Sancho mounted his donkey and went trotting after Rocinante, vowing to follow. Vowing means take the decision to follow Don Quixote wherever fortune's winds might carry him. Thank you for listening for this part. Now we are going to some questions that we have about the story. This is the vocabulary that I explained together. Now we are going to move to the questions that we have about the story. The first question that we have. What is the genre of the story Don Quixote and Windmills? Yes, classic historical fiction. It is fiction that takes place in the past. It is a combination of imagination and fact. Another question. What is the setting of the story Don Quixote? Yes, the province of La Mancha. Another question. Who are the characters of the story Don Quixote? Yes, Senor Quijada, Rocinante the horse, Sancho Panza, and Dulcinea. Other questions that we have. What were the tools gathered by Don Quixote to look like a knight? Yes, his grandfather's sword, a round leather shield, an old lance, and a helmet. What is the offer that Don Quixote gave to Sancho? And did Sancho accept the offer? The offer was to conquer an island and make him king of it. Yes, Sancho accepted Don Quixote's offer as he would be a king, his wife would be a queen, and his children would be princes and princesses. Other questions that we have? What was the name of the pretty girl that Don Quixote wanted to marry? Yes, Aldonza Lorenzo. And we said that he restricted her by the, or he renamed her, or gave her a name that is called Dulcinea. Another question. What did Don Quixote think the Windmills were? As we said, he thought them like giant monsters with 4 arms, and each arm is more than 6 miles long. Who was Don Quixote's squire, as we said? Sancho Panza. Why did Don Quixote change the names? Yes, to imitate the names of the time which he wanted to live in. And he said he made himself like Don Quixote, the famous knight. So he said to imitate. Why did Don Quixote change the names? To imitate the names of the time which he wanted to live in. What is the theme? Is the last of the story. Last question of the story. What is the theme of Don Quixote? The story of Don Quixote. Yes, don't waste your time and efforts fighting for nothing, or how passing stars influence our imagination. Thank you for listening and goodbye.